Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the Immortal Thor issue 12, 2023. That is a gnarly looking cover there, and we kind of deal with it, with Thor confronting an ominous figure. So, we start off. Taciturn and prudent, and in war daring should a king's children be. Joyous and liberal every one should be until his hour of death. The high ones lay, the elder Edis of Saemund Sigfason. And here we go. Once upon a time there was a box, one of many set up by the in-betweener, to trap those receptive to the teachings of Oblivion and to teach Oblivion's lessons. Tyr, god of war, had become one such pupil, and though he was a fallen god, or was he pushed, he was still a son of Odin. And the other children of Odin would not let him fall easily to such cosmic machinations. Though the trail to him split in two, still they would follow it both ways. Here, an opening leading to how far it led them to Odin's blood. As we see one of the boxes, and then Thor blasting out. It's like, oh shit. And this was far indeed. What is this place? And God, that is beautiful, seeing everything kind of going crashing and nutty in that sky. It has the frosty air of Jotunheim, yet Jotunheim never offered such a sky. Angela, is this where the trail to our brother ends? One of the trails does. Which means at least a part of Tyr is here to be found, though which part, or even where here is, I couldn't tell you, with Loki and Balder popping up. It is my home, and it's like, oh shit, whose home? Or at least, it's where I choose to wander for a time. Look thou for this, my friends. Strange indeed was the visitor, and stranger still his arrival, between one eye blink and the next. Yet strangest of all was the blazing rune that flitted around his hand, as if the fiery sigil were a bird that wished to feed from his palm. The rune of Tyr, that was also the rune of Tiwaz. It's like, what the fuck? How big he is compared to the others, with his staff and, like, bird flying around. Tiwaz, is it truly you, the rune of justice and sacrifice? It's like, oh shit. Then we switch back over. It's like, uh-oh. And sacrifice there was. Tyr, answer me. Are you all right? Nothing is all right. Nothing is good. Praise nothing. For Tyr was found. And God, that is just crazy looking there. Swift Hermod knew not how to best respond. Tyr, I don't know what to do. I'll get help. To what was now no god, run and get help then. Nothing is quicker than Hermod, but far beyond. Nothing is quicker. It's like, shit. And he utilized it, and so Hermod met his end without a sound, and that just looks crazy there. It's like, no. Outside, the other Odin children peered into the darkness, calling Hermod's name. Hermod, hello? But every time the answer was the same, a silence that confirmed what Honor feared. He's gone, eh? Gone where, Honor? Gone, Vidar. No scent, no want, gone. But gone where? Our brother is a god unused to speech. So I will tell it plainly as I may. Poor Hermod is a piece removed from light, and even from Valhalla's reach. Bragi speaks true. What Oblivion's own hand touches knows no continuation. The doom beyond mere death. Today, Odinson met his end. It's like, goddamn. Seeing the ominousness of that. I see now, Ullr. Gone is more than dead. No Valhalla, nor even cheerless hell. I've known great griefs in my years, brothers, yet this is a grief that's like no other, and wakes me to the need for a vengeance like no other. Who will hold the child? I will. As Tyr pops up with his hand, is like, shit, fuck, that's not good. I'll hold little Lausa, and then I'll hold my brothers and my other sister, till my hand is quite empty, and then I'll hold the world tree itself, and see what comes of that. It's like, no, that's not a good plan. Oh God, to said the eyes are windows to the soul, and yet in those eyes nothing could be seen. It's crazy, creepy. Oblivion stood now where Tyr had been. What magic rune could make the war god whole? Uh-oh, update from Bragi, folks. And like Loki, it's like, shit. Tyr's become a vessel for Oblivion. He's planning to wipe out Yggdrasil, the world tree, and everything with it. Rune magic might cure him, but there's worse news. Hermod was touched by Oblivion's hand. He's been removed from existence. What? Swift Hermod fallen to the true death? Tyr is where he is, and what he is from your actions, Loki. And we see now their consequences. Were I you, I would pray to Father Odin that no more of us fall. And I love that Tiwaz pops up like this. It's like, Odin? What can Odin do dead in Valhalla? I thought you were all Father Thor. Are you not the head of the family? Or is there one greater? It's like, ooh. Who is this Thor? Before you acted as if you knew him. His name is Tiwaz, a wizard of my acquaintance. He tended to me once when I was lost, in his domain and in grief. Yet his presence here suggests there was more to that tale. It's like, ooh, yes, Thor. Thinking. Getting to do what the All-Father needs to do. I, Tiwaz, am I called. Tiwaz who wanders, Tiwaz who is wisdom and the winter sky. And Tiwaz was I called when the demiurge woke me to being, when I faced great Atum, one with wile and wit, and went my way. Tiwaz was I called when I wandered here to Andlang, the middle heaven, land of spirits and strange forces. Tiwaz was I called when I stood too long here, lost in wonder at the birth and death of worlds and time, and thick rim ice crept over me. But when at Dumbla, the cow whose milk nourished Ymir the primal giant licked me free, I took another name. Then was I called Buri, All-Father, for I was father to Bor, who was then was father to Odin, who was father to Thor, who stands with mouth agape before me now, my great-grandson. It's like, ah, shit! Tiwaz, Buri, that's some big shit there. Linking it like that. We'll have to see what comes from these things. And 'tis a fortuitous meeting indeed. You are great-grandsire to all on this quest, and Tyr as well. You could end this madness. Why, you hold the rune to his being in thy very hand. Balder, do not count chickens. Buri is our kin. But Tiwaz is wisdom. I've yet to meet any wisdom that lends itself to easy answers. Because usually there really aren't that many easy answers. Yet you have met wisdom, great-granddaughter, and clearly have some with you still. Aye, Balder, this is the rune of Tyr's spirit, and to restore it to him is to restore him. But it is my rune, also, and I am loath to let it go. You speak in riddles, old one. Am I not great-grandsire to Loki as well? Are riddles not as fine a sport as any, and rune riddles as valid a test? Then here is my test, Thor, All-Father. The rune Tiwaz is rune of victory, so you must win it from me. Such was the challenge, and that kind of fits within the frameworks of these kind of things. To win the spirit rune that would restore the true Tyr. In Loki's tale, Tyr's spirit has been cast in rune form. That may restore our kin, if Thor can bring it to our side within however long a time we have to last. Weren't you listening, Vidar? You big stupid oaf. I said I want to hold my sister, as he's gone after. And this one's interesting. Vidar. Had Vidar in that moment sought to shield himself with Lhasa, he would here be shamed. But Lhasa was not offered. She was aimed. I love that. You're thinking, oh, you're going to try and shield yourself with a baby. It's like, nope, the baby's like, I'm going to spit up some fucking Muspelheim fire. Ah! And Surtur's fire can cause a god to yield. Well, Surtur's fire, that thing's even kind of worse. God, there's a sweet girl. When you're ready, Honar. Ready. Honar, the hunter's arrows fell like hail, a thunderstorm to drive the war god back. As he just starts going, whoa. It's like, all right there. The Odin children, don't fuck around. Elsewhere, another thunderous attack struck Buri square and true. Fall, great-grandfather. Only to fail. I choose not to fall. What now, Thor? It's like, god damn, that's nuts. I have stronger weapons than lightning, old wizard, as Mjolnir will attest. Fly true, my hammer. Ring his skull as you would a bell to the sound of victory. Ah, Mjolnir, stop there, please. I would admire thy craftsmanship. You are truly Atre's greatest achievement, old friend. 'Tis good to see you whole again. Still, this is as close as I prefer you, great crusher, so back to your master's hand you go. What now, Thor? As he pretty much just stopped it. I love this because this is like old school classic shit like that, man. He took Thor's greatest hits. He was able to stop Mjolnir and just send it back. And it's like, what would he do now? Thor, we do not have time for... I know, sister. Let me think. I'm like, yes, Thor, think. Aye, let me think. Buri challenged me to win against him and claimed he won a battle with Atum himself in the primal time. If he survived the cosmic fire of Gaia's firstborn, he'll ignore any blow I give him. Even the Odin power is likely useless against Odin's own grandfather. True. Yet he also said that he won that battle by his wile and with his wit, and that riddles are as fine a contest as any. Let us wager on thy wits, Tiwaz. Answer me this, if you can, and if you can, the rune is yours. What is big, red, and each rocks? A riddle. Let me consider then. Is it Surtur, perhaps, whose flame young Lausa wields? He is big and red, and his fire consumes all, even stone. Nay, the fire consumes, but not Surtur himself. Then 'tis the sun from which Atun came, for it will one day turn big and red and swallow the rock that is earth. Nay, I asked not what will be, but what is. Then you have me, Thor. I am without an answer. What is big, red, and eats rocks? A big red rock eater. And Tiwa's laughed rich and deep. It's like, that? Yes, it's... Sometimes you overcomplicate things. And when the laughter was done, the rune was in Thor's own hand. Well done, you have your prize, Thor. And this is great because Thor used his head to do this. But tell me, before I send you hence, where learned you that jest? At my father's knee. 'Twas a favourite of his. Is that so? Wonder whose knee he learned it at. Be about your quest, my great-grandchildren. Oh, and Loki, yes? I know what you've done and what you will do. You, I'll see again. It's like, ominous. We'll have to see how that works out. What meant he by that? I don't know. I swear on Odin's grave, dirt brother. I have no idea. Not a word, Bragi. Father was cremated in a longboat. Thank you for being smart, Balder. Not a word. It's like, A closer threat than any trickster's goal was readying itself. Brother, my arm's tired. So is your sister. Fall back before too late was soon, but not just yet. Oblivion, think. Bury for that. It's like, yep, as they pop up. You have squatted in my brother's body too long. I care not how vast a concept you are, nor how long you have laid your plans. 'Tis time to give him back. Cast your petty sigil, Thor. Oblivion has all the time there is. Shall I tell you what final doom waits for you? If you wish, you may scream it. For downward fell the rune. And then we get, as we'd seen Thor drop it, and then it goes into Tyr, and that just looks fucking gnarly. That was the missing portion of Tyr's soul, and it forces out Oblivion's snake thing. The emptiness in him was filled with pain. Tyr screamed, and then his scream took a shape. The serpent of the end made his escape. If something's there, nothing can remain. Tyr's himself again. Nuts, man. So then shift to everybody talking like this. Worse luck. Quiet, Loki. I have very little desire to hear from you. Forgive our sibling, Thor. They only tell their tale as tellers must, to meet the times. As I see, is the same old mischief. All I see is the same old mischief. Perhaps you should have stayed the skull, Bragi. Not I. Reality no longer rhymes. It needs a trickster's tongue to sing it well. Thanks. And it's interesting that Loki thanks him like that. It's like, alright. And you, Uller, your hall is yours again, should you wish it. You are gracious, All-Father. Few would wish the god of doom to share their kingdom, but then you already have a dark fate over you. Uller, you are my older brother, and closer kin by blood than any I have. If there are things you know, I would have you tell them. Then tell them I shall, for as surely as I am thy mother's child, the end is coming, Thor, and it comes soon, as we see Thor with Tormod and Mjolnir lying in a pool of blood. And that's just honest. The end of all songs. And then we get a lot of fan pages, fan letters, which is really kind of awesome. Also talking about how there are like 3 runes in Thor's name, and that there are other things that he might get on his journey. I would definitely recommend reading through the fan letters, because there's some really kind of cool stuff in there. But we see next that we have 2 things. The Immortal Thor Annual 1, which I'm getting, and the Immortal Thor 13. Al Ewing writes the key chapter of the Infinity Watch event. Faced with the menace of Utgard and a prophecy of his own doom, the son of Odin sought out the legendary Power Stone to aid his fight. Only 2 things were in his way. Firstly, the mighty champion of the universe, with strength to match Thor's own, was also questing for the stone. Secondly, the stone was now inside a person, the Prince of Power. That one's on July 17th. On July 31st, enter Hercules! I always love that. I've really been enjoying the Avengers having Hercules in there. I love when he's utilized and utilized well. He's really utilized well in the Avengers. The son of Zeus sought Thor out, for Tyrannus' wheel had turned for the Olympians too, and 2 gods together might solve such a mystery. The trail took them to a wasteland of snow and ice, to terror and treachery, and to an old foe of Hercules at the height of her dread power. This is the story of the Immortal Thor and the Night Mother's vengeance. Ooh! So, I really enjoyed this one of getting Tiwaz and Buri, and Thor having to match wits with him to get Tyr's rune back. And I loved how an Oblivion of possessed Tyr was a very credible threat. unmaking one of the Odin children, and then the others being able to hold him off long enough before they're able to get him back. And Loki having some key things that he would be seeing Tiwaz/Buri again. And I just love how this fit the whole kind of classical styles of what was going on. And I love the art that they've got. I know that they're switching up kind of artists as well, but if they keep what we've been seeing so far, I'm going to be happy with that. I love the quietness of certain scenes. I love how even though we get exposition, it doesn't feel info dumpy to me. And I love that we've got the fusion of like nice quiet scenes with great movement for action with the art. And I can't wait to see what kind of goes on. I really like the dueling nature of Loki and Bragi telling the stories, and I can't wait to see what Loki's going to be doing and what's going to be going on with Thor. Now, even though Thor might die, depending upon how it goes, I don't think it's going to be the worst thing, because one of the whole kind of things with Odin's whole trials of being the All-Father was, of course, his eye for wisdom, the hanging of himself from Yggdrasil. This could be a similar kind of death moment that Thor potentially has to go through to cement his status as All-Father, maybe move the Odin force more to the Thor force, and him have more control over that. I did like him talking about how he doesn't, like even the Odin force wouldn't help him taking down Buri/Tiwa. So there's just a lot of good stuff in this, and I've really been enjoying this, and I can't wait to see what keeps going on next. I'm really looking forward to Hercules popping up in here and seeing how he's handled. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.